Inside you right now, there is a pool of acid so powerful it can dissolve metal. It can eat through a razor blade. It can break down bone. If you spilled it on your kitchen table, it could damage the surface. And it is sitting at this very moment in a soft, fleshy bag in the middle of your body, held back from the rest of you by nothing but a thin layer of living tissue. This should be a catastrophe. By every logic of chemistry, the acid in your stomach should be digesting you from the inside out. But it isn't. And the reason why is one of the most quietly incredible survival stories in all of biology, a war being fought inside you every second of your life, one you've never noticed and never had to think about. Let's start with just how strong this acid really is. The acid in your stomach is hydrochloric acid, and it's genuinely potent stuff. The same type of acid used in industrial settings to clean and treat metal. Its job is to be brutal. Your stomach needs to break down the food you eat into a form your body can absorb, and it also needs to kill the vast majority of dangerous bacteria and pathogens you swallow along with your meals. So your stomach lining produces this fierce acid deliberately, dumping it into the pouch of your stomach to create a chemical environment so hostile that most invading microbes are destroyed on contact. Studies have shown this acid is strong enough to corrode certain metals over time. It can dissolve small bones. It is without exaggeration one of the most aggressive substances your body produces, and you make around 1.5 liters of it every single day. So the obvious alarming question is the one your body has to answer every moment. If this acid can dissolve metal and bone, why doesn't it dissolve the stomach itself? Your stomach is made of living tissue. It's soft. It's delicate. It should be the first thing to go. And here's the beautiful, almost paradoxical answer. Your stomach protects itself from its own acid by coating itself in a thick layer of the one thing the acid struggles to get through, a slippery, protective mucus. Your stomach lining constantly secretes this mucus, building up a barrier that clings to its inner walls and physically separates the vulnerable tissue from the acid churning inside. It's like a fireproof blanket, produced from within, renewed constantly, standing between the flesh and the flames. Underneath that mucus, special cells also release substances that help neutralize any acid that sneaks through, buffering the surface and keeping the actual stomach wall at a safe, gentle chemistry, even as a pool of metal-dissolving acid sits just millimeters away. But here's the part that reveals just how precarious this whole arrangement is. That protective mucus layer is not permanent. It's under a constant assault from the acid it's holding back, and it's being worn away all the time. So your stomach has to rebuild it continuously, a never-ending race between destruction and repair. And it goes further than just the mucus. The cells of your stomach lining themselves get damaged and worn down by the harsh environment, so your body replaces them at a staggering rate. Your entire stomach lining renews itself every few days. Think about that. The organ holding metal-dissolving acid essentially rebuilds its own inner surface from scratch over and over, several times a week, for your whole life, because that's the only way to stay ahead of the damage. You are not protected by a permanent shield. You are protected by a shield that is being destroyed and rebuilt faster than the acid can eat through it. It's a wall being repaired even as it's being torn down, a defense that only works because it never ever stops. And when this delicate balance breaks down, even slightly, you feel the consequences immediately, and they reveal the whole hidden war. When the protective barrier gets compromised, when the mucus thins or the acid gets the upper hand, the acid begins to touch the raw tissue underneath, and it starts doing to your stomach exactly what it does to your food. This is what an ulcer is, a spot where the defenses failed and the acid began digesting the stomach wall itself. It's your own acid turning on you, eating a hole in the very organ that produced it. The pain of an ulcer is the pain of your body being dissolved from the inside by a substance it makes on purpose, in the one place the protective barrier gave way. It's a stark reminder that the peace you normally feel in your gut is not the absence of danger. It's the result of a defense system working flawlessly, quietly, invisibly, holding the line every second. Now let's zoom out because this points to something profound about what your body actually is. We tend to think of our bodies as stable, solid, safe. But underneath that calm exterior, your body is a place of astonishing extremes, held in balance by processes of incredible precision. You are carrying around a pouch of industrial strength acid and simply living your life, eating lunch, going for a walk, never once feeling the chemical violence happening inside you, because your body manages it so perfectly that you're completely unaware. This is the pattern of life itself. Being alive is not a peaceful, stable state. It's a constant, active balancing act, a relentless effort to hold dangerous forces in check. The moment that effort stops, the moment the mucus isn't replaced and the cells aren't renewed, the balance tips and the very chemistry that keeps you alive begins to consume you. There's something almost philosophical in that. Your stomach acid is not your enemy. It's essential. Without it, you couldn't extract the nutrients you need to survive, and you'd be far more vulnerable to the countless pathogens you swallow every day. The acid is a weapon, and like any weapon, it has to be aimed carefully, contained precisely, and never allowed to turn inward. Your body took one of the most destructive substances it could produce and built an entire self-renewing fortress around it, just so it could harness its power without being destroyed by it. It's a masterclass in controlled danger, written into your biology, running flawlessly right now as you listen to these words. So the next time you sit down to eat, spare a thought for the extraordinary thing happening quietly beneath your ribs. A vat of acid strong enough to dissolve metal is going to work on your meal, and the only thing standing between that acid and your own flesh is a wall of mucus and a battalion of cells being replaced faster than they can be destroyed. You will feel none of it. You'll just feel full, and then satisfied, and then you'll move on with your day, never knowing that your body just won another round in a war it has been fighting and winning every single moment since the day you were born. And if the hidden extremes inside your own body fascinate you, wait until you hear about the pressure in your veins, the electricity in your nerves, and the other astonishing forces your body contains and controls without you ever feeling a thing. That's the next video. Subscribe so you don't miss it, and thanks for watching.